All right, baby. We are back. Episode 3 of the Bearded Bastards podcast. Zach G, Robert Frank here with you. And we are going to review / recap AEW Collision from September 20th, 2024. Before I begin and ask Zach G how he's doing, I wanted to remind everybody who's watching this right now on YouTube, this is the full-length review. We are posting shorts of some of the highlights of the show on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. Bearded Bastards podcast everywhere. Bearded Bastards podcast. You can find us on IG, Facebook, and YouTube Shorts. Obviously, if you're watching this right now, you'll see the shorts pop up on this feed from time to time. Show them some love. Drop some comments. Let us know what you think about what we're saying and help the show grow. So I appreciate you guys. Zach G, how you doing?
I'm doing good. How you doing, Robert?
I'm doing all right. We're chilling. You know, we're gonna. Last night I was watching Collision live I was watching on like a 20-minute delay, so I could fast forward through the commercials.
Mm-hmm.
You were a little busy last night, so you watched it this morning.
Yes,
and I have 3 pages of notes from the show, and let me start out by saying this show has quickly turned into Rampage Part 2. Dynamite is clearly the show that they want you to watch, and it seems like they give no craps about having you watch Rampage or Collision. It was like back in the day when WCW Nitro was the main show and all the cool shit was happening with the NWO and Sting and this and that, whatever. And then, you know, there was WCW Saturday Night where the Disco Inferno was wrestling, the golfer or whatever his name was. And that's another thing I'll bring up too before we start the review. I really need to pump the brakes on listening to wrestling podcasts now. I think you brought this up too, because I don't want my opinion to be swayed. Yeah. I want my opinions to be my opinions and not, Disco makes a good point, or Conan makes a good point, or Cornette makes a good point, even though I don't listen to Cornette. I'm just making up names. Meltzer, Brian Alvarez, whoever.
Eric Bischoff.
Exactly. I don't want to be influenced. So I think I'm going to pump the brakes, but that is a big part of my morning when I'm doing cardio. I just listen to wrestling podcasts.
I listen to a lot of them.
So I'm going to have to find something else to listen to.
Yeah, the only thing I'm going to listen to now because it's entertaining is when Cornette goes over the ratings for AEW for Dynamite. It's
about I heard the Dynamite ratings were horrible again this week.
It wasn't good. So I'm going to start listening to that only because it is entertaining. He really doesn't talk much about matches.
Yeah.
So I will, because we have to keep our minds clear and open to what we see.
Exactly. All right. So started out Collision, boom. It was a random Texas bull rope match. Not a bull rope match. It was a bunkhouse brawl match.
Random, you said, right?
Between a tag team thrown together of Dustin Rhodes and Sammy Guevara. I think the only thing they have in common is they're both from Texas. And Bennett and Taven, who are Ring of Honor guys. Taven used to be Ring of Honor world champion. I think he could go. Bennett could go too. They both look the part. They're good workers. But why, where's the feud? Where's this? To my knowledge, this is maybe the second time that they've ever wrestled. You're already going to a bunkhouse fucking match.
Yeah, that's why I texted you earlier this morning when I was watching it.
Yeah.
I'm like, these guys have a feud going into this, a Texas bunkhouse brawl. Am I correct in saying that isn't Dustin Rhodes and Sammy Guevara the tag team champions for Ring of Honor?
They are.
Okay.
Yeah, they are. Right. And I think they beat Taven and Bennett for those belts, which is why they're wrestling again, but they're wrestling and it's just these are the types of matches that are blow-off matches back in the day. Mm-hmm. You would wrestle 4 or 5 times and the stipulations would get higher. Then before you know it, you're in a steel cage. And that was the blow-off match. That was the end-all, be-all to the feud. And then they wouldn't wrestle anymore. Here, you have one match, you beat them for the belts, and the next match, you're in a bunkhouse.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm going to skip around from this match a little bit, but for 3 guys to get color on a TV show that's going to get 225,000 viewers, it just takes away anytime there's actually like a main event or on a pay-per-view where there's color, someone gets blood. they're so immune to it now. It doesn't mean crap anymore.
Well, I mean, AEW, the first year they had their audience immune to it because everybody bled in every match. Here's what I have down. I have, speaking of blading, I said clearly you could see Dustin Blade in the picture-in-picture. They didn't even try to hide it. No. Like they zoomed in on Dustin when he was gigging his forehead. I saw him laying on the mat.
I saw it too.
Like, oh, bro. But listen, here's my notes, and we'll go over it. And my notes actually surprised me as the match went on. So it says Dustin Rhodes, Sammy Guevara versus Bennett and Taven. Garbage match. Ring of Honor titles. Taven bladed, Bennett bladed. Clearly see Dustin Blade in picture-in-picture. Didn't even try to hide it. Bennett, Taven, Crimson Mask. They were bloody like a mofo.
It was bad, yeah.
I put down Dustin can still go.
Yes.
I said, I guarantee you Sammy's not going to blade, which he didn't. I don't think Sammy's ever bladed, ever. I think he's scared.
It's not because he's smart to the business, it's because he's probably a pussy.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, go ahead.
And then I said, again, Sammy, no juice. And then I wrote, Sammy and Dustin win. And then in parentheses with 3 exclamation points, I write, not bad. As the match was going on, I was getting more into the match. And I'll say this. This was one of the matches on the show, the only match on the show, where I didn't know who was going to win. Because Taven and Bennett were former champions, I thought maybe this match is where they were going to get their win back and they were going to get the belts back. So I really didn't know which way this was going to go. Every other match on the show was predictable AF of who was going to win, who was going to lose. What are your thoughts?
A couple things. Dustin is still over. The fans might have popped harder for him than anyone else on the show.
Oh yeah,
as a performer, not as a spot, but as a performer.
Right. Yeah, they love Dustin.
Yeah. Sammy is a terrible baby face. He just looks like a heel. It's hard to root for.
He's got that Seth Rollins face where you just want to punch him in the mouth.
he should go with that.
I think he should too, but he doesn't want to be booed because he's got like a little baby now or something. I heard him and what's her name? Taya. What the hell's her name? It's a little smoking Brazilian chick.
Yeah, she was. Yeah, she was pretty hot.
Yeah. They got a kid together now, and I heard somewhere in an interview that he doesn't like being a heel because he has a daughter now, and he doesn't want to get booed on TV and have his daughter, who's probably 15 months old, see him getting booed, but like she's going to know anything.
So the daughter's not from Sasha Banks, is that correct?
That is correct. Yeah.
Look it up. Look it up, people. Yeah. Pretty much the same thing as you. I put the one spot you can see the ref holding the chair for the spot, which is
yeah.
I mean,
I can see why they hold ladders because bro, if you slip off a ladder, you could break your neck.
Yeah, I agree. Because I think they messed up the spot and they wanted to do it again. The ref held the chair in place for them. And then I kind of got a kick out of the Shattered Dreams.
Oh, with the barbed wire boot.
Yeah, I mean that was over the top. So we know they're kicking a turnbuckle, but yeah, he went old school to Shattered Dreams. I always thought Shattered Dreams was funny.
Could you imagine if he missed and he went right for the nuts? That would be great.
It wouldn't feel too good.
No, it wouldn't. But overall, did you get into the match at all as it went on, or not really?
Yeah, I was entertained. Yeah. I have a hard time with the picture-in-picture crap.
Yeah,
and I have a big. It's a 75-inch TV, but still.
Yeah.
And I'll get into that a little bit later on.
Okay.
But half the picture-in-picture is the first 30 seconds. Then for 2 minutes, it's all commercials.
It's regular commercials. Yeah. I know, dude.
This Tony Khan couldn't produce a one-man porno video.
Yeah. Well,
terrible.
Next up, backstage segment, Mark Briscoe, Kyle O'Reilly, hologram with Lexi Nair. And I love Jay Briscoe to death. And it's sad that he's no longer with us. And it's sad that he got blackballed by all the I keep wanting to curse, but all of the federations because of things that he said on Twitter, which I mean aren't necessarily wrong.
I mean, but I didn't disagree with them, but
yeah, you couldn't say, that kind of crap.
That's a long time ago.
Exactly. And he made a public apology and all this and that. But for whatever reason, they were blackballed. Once he passed away, Tony Khan did the right thing, brought Mark Briscoe in. They had that match on Dynamite against Jay Lethal. It was a good moment. Actually, Beard So Strong came out. He left work early to come over just to watch the main event. And then he went back to work because he wanted to see it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they were backstage with Lexi Nair. And all I could say from this promo is Lexi Nair hot. And there really wasn't much else going on. Hologram standing there like a little midget.
Yeah, I put backstage segment with Mark Briscoe and Jobbers.
Yeah.
Poor Mark Briscoe.
Yeah. Yeah, poor Mark Briscoe. Anyway, Lexi Nair made up for it, and they're calling themselves the conglomeration now. Like, I don't even know what the hell that means. I'm gonna have to look that up in the dictionary. But it's they just got random mid-carders and they're throwing them into a little faction, and apparently they're the conglomeration. Darby Allin, Evil Uno backstage segment. I just wrote capital G, capital A, capital Y. I said Darby's trying really hard to fire up, but he's just not believable. He's more believable with the way he throws his body around in the ring and just has reckless abandon. And
we'll get into that. Yeah.
And he's like a little bullet because he only weighs 150 pounds. So you're not going to really hurt anybody anyway. But
he's he was firing up, but because he's so small, he's not believable, but he seems like he was being real, like serious.
Yeah.
So I didn't think it was that bad. The Dark Order, are you kidding me? Oh, come on, dude. That Evil Uno?
Bro, there was a time that John Silver was one of the most over dudes on TV.
Yeah.
This is back in the COVID days, and I don't know what the hell happened to them. I don't see Silver and Reynolds anymore.
No.
Tagging up. Maybe they're Ring of Honor guys now, or maybe they just fell out of favor once John Huber, what's his name? Brody Lee, once he passed away. But yeah, something definitely happened because these guys kind of disappeared, and Evil Uno's doing the old Mankind gimmick with the shirt and the tie all disheveled and shaped like a pear.
You mentioned Brody Lee. Back when he was in WWE, I thought he was the best big man in the business. He could move. He was quick.
Yeah.
He was athletic. He was
he looked scary as hell with the balding long hair with the big beard and the eyes. Yeah.
Have you ever heard any interviews with him?
Oh yeah. He speaks.
He sounds like Bryan Danielson, and once you get that in your head, you can't get it out of your head. He sounds just like Bryan Danielson. Yeah, very.
I think he's from New York. I think
Buffalo,
he's from upstate
Buffalo
New York,
or Rochester. Yeah, very soft spoken. He was very.
Sorry, I just had to open up my
couple beers.
Yeah, not bad. All right, so next up, anything to say about this promo other than that?
I think we said enough.
Okay, Mark Briscoe, Kyle O'Reilly, hologram versus Josh Woods, who I'll talk about in a minute, Daivari and Nice. I guess they're calling themselves the Premier Athletes with Smart Mark Sterling.
Yes.
Obviously, I love Mark Briscoe. They're making a big deal about this hologram guy, and they're talking about how he's undefeated. He's 11-0 now, this, that, and the other. Bro, he ain't freaking Goldberg, bro. He's like 5'5", 147 pounds soaking wet that could do flips and cool moves. But I mean, bro, you can't make a big deal about this little dude, bro.
They did with Orange Cassidy. He was Goldberg, remember? He was undefeated for.
Yeah. Well, again, we talked about it on last week, or maybe it was our pilot episode. Tony Khan has a hard on for these little dudes.
Yeah, because he was bullied as a kid because he's a little effeminate guy, and now he wants to see the big guys have it coming to him. And Darby Allin made a comment in the segment before that how he was, on his quest to be the world champion. If he becomes a world heavyweight champion, give me a break. But go ahead. I digress. Go ahead.
So Josh Woods, back before the bull crap started with the COVID stuff back in 2020, me, Ray Vegas, and Beard So Strong, and my dad came with us one time. Somebody else, I think, there were a couple other people that went with us. We started going to Ring of Honor shows because Crowbar was making his Ring of Honor debut.
Okay.
And we ended up going, I think we went to like 4 or 5 shows. They were in Philadelphia, the old ECW arena, and they were in the Hammerstein Ballroom in New York. And Josh Woods was in Ring of Honor, and he was teaming up with Silas Young. I don't know if you remember Silas Young.
I don't.
They had it was like a father-son gimmick where Silas Young was, trying to teach Josh Woods how to be what bro. I'm dragging this out. Josh Woods in real life is one of the scariest human beings you ever want to see. He looks like he will beat the effing hell out of you. And yeah, I don't know, his work is pretty decent. I know he was the Ring of Honor Pure champion at one time. He might have been the TV champion as well. But dude, he is believable. I know he's got some kind of an MMA background, but he is scary looking.
Is he tall? I have here good shape, good athlete. I had him on there. He's believable as hell.
Yeah. Yeah, he definitely looks believable.
He's got cauliflowered ears, so he's an MMA guy.
Oh yeah.
Sure. Yeah. I like him.
Yeah, he's not bad. Nice is just like, just flapping in the breeze. Not really doing much with him outside of this little gimmick. It's not even a mid-card gimmick. It's like some kind of like Ring of Honor mid-card gimmick, which basically
it's like a dark match.
Exactly. And Daivari needs to change up his look because I thought it was Ricochet coming out at first.
It did look like him. I had to rewind it and go back. I'm like, what?
Yeah, I think Ricochet has a little bit more star power than Daivari, but you can't have the 2 dudes with the same length beard, same shaped head, same gear, same look, same complexion. Yeah. Oh man, that's why back in the day they made who was it? I remember there was something with Shawn Michaels. Maybe it was they kept wanting Edge, was it, to shave his to cut his hair because when Shawn Michaels came back, remember Shawn Michaels disappeared for a while.
Yeah.
He had like back issues or whatever, and then when he came back, there was some kind of a thing where they wanted Edge to shave his head because Shawn Michaels apparently was the only guy allowed to have long blonde hair aside from Triple H, but Triple H and Shawn Michaels were boys.
Yeah.
So he wanted the other guy to cut his hair. I don't know if he ever really did it back then.
No, he got on the juice instead.
Oh, well. All right. So I just wrote my notes for this match. Well, go over your notes first. I went first last
I kind of said it. I said, they're jobbers. The premier athletes are in good shape. They work pretty good. Josh Woods I actually liked because me and you've never discussed him before, so we're on the same page there. He does look like a badass. And I put in Kyle O'Reilly. I'm sorry if you like him or not. It's like he gave up.
Yeah.
Like was he ever in good shape? It looks like he doesn't work out. He can't act. Like
he was
facial expression. He was with Bobby Fish.
Yeah, him and Bobby Fish were Red Dragon, and I don't really remember. I remember Bobby Fish was like kind of jacked, but I don't remember if Kyle O'Reilly ever was really like aesthetically in shape. But he was a good worker.
Yeah, he could work, but
does like the kicks and the submission stuff. He wasn't a flippity doodah guy.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll whoop my ass, but in rest, he doesn't look like he cares about the way he looks at all.
No,
which he's probably getting bad influences for the rest of the locker room.
But. And another thing too, which is why I got to stop listening to Disco and Conan so much. They always tear AEW apart for the guys when they're doing the backstage segments or they come out for an in-ring interview with Tony Schiavone. They look like they just got out of bed. The WWE stars, they come out looking like $1 million. They're in suits or they're in like cool gear. I mean, I know LA Knight comes out, he's got the jeans with the cutoff vest and stuff, but he looks like a star.
Yeah,
these guys got their sweatpants on with a t-shirt. It's just like, what the hell are they doing? And when Roman Reigns does it, because sometimes Roman Reigns will come out with joggers and one of his t-shirts, he looks cool.
Yeah, guess what? If they ever get to that level, they can do it. Exactly. He does look cool. You get the red shoes.
So my notes were: this is a Rampage match. Why do we want to watch this? Love Briscoe and Woods, but this sucks. Hologram has a cool move set. Very athletic, but small AF. Briscoe and company over equal duh. Meaning we knew who was going to win before this match even started.
I have hologram is quick. It can work. Mark Briscoe, I like him. He can work. He works safe. He watches moves. He's looking after his opponent.
Yeah.
And I have the letter Z 7 times in a row at the end of it.
It was a snooze fest. Yeah. And I feel bad. And Mark Briscoe is the Ring of Honor world champion. Why is he wrestling the premier athletes? Shouldn't he be in a singles feud against somebody for his title, even if it's a Ring of Honor guy? Build something up.
Yeah, well, this show doesn't have a lot of singles matches.
I know he's going to come on later in the show, but I mean, Roosh was a Ring of Honor world champion. Why isn't he going after the belt? They're not doing nothing with him. Have him and Mark Briscoe in a feud.
Yeah, Roosh has potential. We'll get into him later.
Yeah, I remember one of the best matches that I saw in those shows that we were going to. It was in the ECW arena.
Mm-hmm.
It was the main event. It was Mark Briscoe and Jay Briscoe, the Briscoe brothers, against Roosh and Dragon Lee, who are also brothers. Dragon Lee is in WWE now.
Yeah.
But it was a hard-hitting, the fans, we were all on our feet from start to finish that match. And that was the match that Beard So Strong was like, bro, anytime you guys come to one of these things, I want in, bro. He was so happy, and the match was great.
Was this pre the new flu?
Yes.
Okay.
Correct. Yeah, this was 2019, possibly super early 2020.
Yeah, because I can only imagine if you get into that stuff again and you head back north, the text message I'll be receiving.
Oh yeah,
bro.
They're gonna be in the ECW arena.
Get the car, head on the turnpike. I'll meet you there.
Next up, I have MXM collection equals capital G, capital A, capital Y backstage segment. No pun intended.
Dude, I have another word. It starts with an H with a couple O's in it. In parentheses.
Oh boy. Yeah. Is there an O in there as well?
There's 2 O's.
Okay. And is there an M sandwiched in somewhere?
There's an M in the middle and an S at the end.
Okay. Yeah. I know these are WWE guys, and I don't know when they actually showed up in AEW, but bro, these guys, what is going on here, man? How many different homosexual tag teams do they have in wrestling now? I know WWE has 1 or 2. AEW, well, I guess this is the only one in AEW.
Well, even a one tag team has one of them is.
Oh yeah, the Acclaimed has what's his name? He's a gay guy.
But he's not shoving it down everyone's throat either on his segments and everything else, right?
No, he's not shoving it down your throat in on TV and in promos, but all over social media. That's all I see from him. When he pops up on my For You feed, or if he pops up on something, it's got something to do with him and a freaking rainbow. It's like, dude, shut up. Just go bang dudes and be happy. I don't need to hear that shit. Next up, my favorite segment of the
your
show.
Favorite segment, I knew it.
Mariah May looking only as she could look. I wrote Mariah May so hot. Lady Frost, and I even wrote ring announcer hot with 3 T's exclamation points. I don't know who the new ring announcer is on Collision because I haven't watched Collision in months.
Yeah.
I only watch it because we're doing this now. And whoever that ring announcer chick, I think they fired that Dasha Gonzalez or Dasha Gomez, whatever the hell her name was, the Spanish, little thicker Spanish chick.
Yeah.
She's not with them anymore, but they got this new girl, this brunette, and she's fire. And I just have uneventful Mariah wins. And if Mariah got a BBL, she might be the hottest chick on the planet. Because she really doesn't have a great, she's got an okay butt, but she needs to take a little fat from somewhere. And
well, compared to Lady Frog, what's her name? Lady Frog?
Lady Frost.
Lady Frost, yeah. She's thick AF.
Yeah, she is.
My notes, Mariah May, hot. She gave me funny feeling in my trunks.
Oh, geez.
Lady Frost, I thought she was kind of hot too. Same feeling. Crowd dead, sloppy and slow.
Yeah, that was one of the big takeaways from this show is the crowd was almost like us sitting at home watching it. They really didn't give a damn.
You could hear someone talking in the 10th. I mean, it was.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. And I feel bad because they go out there and they try to put on a good show. And it's not their fault that they're booked the way they are. I mean, I guess it's Rampage. I mean, it's a Collision, so you're not going to have, a, who I don't know what I'm even trying to say. I just feel bad for Mariah May because
she's a champion.
Exactly. Anything else on this match other than Mariah May's hot?
No.
All right. Willow backstage segment. I just wrote cringe.
With you can suck my sake.
Yeah. Yeah. Willow, cringe. Deonna Purrazzo comes out, cringe. Taya Valkyrie, cringe. They're doing this Deonna Purrazzo, Taya Valkyrie gimmick like they were doing with Mercedes Moné and Camille.
Same thing.
Is she trying to be the bodyguard now and speaking up for her when somebody gets out of line? I was like, how many of the same gimmicks do we have on this damn show?
She's big, like tall as hell.
Yeah, that's John Morrison's wife.
Is that her? Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Yeah. It's hard to she had the glasses on. They changed name. Okay.
Yeah.
They should bring him back.
Yeah, she's a good worker. I think he's still with either AEW or Ring of Honor. He does, like dark matches and stuff. He's not really on TV, but he should be because he could still work. He's still in shape. He's freaking ripped. He's handsome. Like, do something with the dude. Unless he just doesn't care and just wants the paycheck, doesn't mind.
I think that happens a lot of these people in this company.
So I just have horrible acting. I guess Willow and Deonna. I feel bad because they make a big deal about these girls when they come in, and Deonna came over from, I guess it was Impact or TNA. Or maybe she was in NXT. I forget where she came from. And they made a big deal about her, the virtuosa, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, she can go a little bit. She's put on a little bit of weight. But she's just not, like, nobody cares. Nobody cares.
They brought a couple over paying lots of money to that no one cares about. One, I don't think I haven't seen in a while. And the other one was on here later.
Yeah. Darby Allin, I wrote, is a star, but small AF. Wait, is this my last page of note? No, there's another page.
Yeah, you're off.
Wait, what was up next?
There's a Billy Gunn acclaim segment.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Anything with Billy Gunn, I watch.
Okay,
because I respect him. He knows how to work. He knows how to work out. He knows the business. He's in good shape. I said there used to be over the crowd that even it was a live backstage segment.
Okay,
crowd,
I didn't see that. I don't know.
Crowd was dead AF, Rob.
Of course,
nothing. No, I put no reaction at all.
And it was just Billy Gunn and the Acclaimed?
Yeah.
Who were they talking about?
I can't even remember. I forget.
Jesus. Yeah, that shows you how entertaining it was. After that was Darby Allin and Evil Uno?
Yeah, there's a recap of the Blackpool Combat Club segment, just a recap but yeah, you can go on.
Yeah, I know that there was they did a little recap of Wheeler Yuta pretending that he was kind of confused, and they showed
we talked about that the other day.
All right, so Darby Allin is a star, I wrote, but small AF. Evil Uno, dressed in a tie. I said, fat FUCK, sloppy AF, but can go. Because I remember when him and what's his name? The Canadian guy, I forget. The guy that has like the beard. Was it
I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
You know who I'm talking about.
He's bald with the beard.
Yep.
Yeah, I forget his name. Yeah.
They used to be the Super Smash Brothers in Ring of Honor. And Evil Uno, for as sloppy as he is and as fat as he is, I think he could work, man. He could work. So I'm going to put him over for that. He should hit the gym a little bit. But outside of that, you knew who was going to win the match. Darby obviously has a match coming up against Moxley. They're not going to have him lose to Evil Uno. I don't even remember how long the match went, but I know it went a while, much longer than it needed to.
Too long.
Yeah. What do you got to say about Evil Uno? I know he's your favorite wrestler.
No, I think I said earlier. He looks like a Tim Hortons jelly donut with arms and legs. I'd wear a mask too if I look like that. He whipped Darby Allin with the largest belt I've ever seen in my life. And then Darby's battering ram is legit looks good.
Oh yeah, when he flies out of the ring.
Yeah, he doesn't care. I mean, he's gonna kill himself, but it looks good. It's legit. He's legit, and he is a star. The problem is he gets overshadowed by these guys the same size, doing a lot of the same things. They don't look as good as he does.
Right.
He could go to the other company and be a star too. I think highly of him because he's different.
Oh, he's definitely different.
Yeah,
but they're not going to put him at the top of the card. He's going to be in
no. But he's I like him. You know, I sit there and bash the small guys. I don't bash him.
Yeah,
he won't be around long because the shit he does. But he's good. Like that battering ram is outstanding, man.
The difference, I think, with Darby is he's small to where you think he would be doing the triple jump moonsaults and this and that. He doesn't really do a lot of high flying things outside of jumping off of high places to do the coffin drop.
Yes.
He doesn't do, 450 splashes and a lot of like crazy moves like that. But what he does looks believable. And it's okay to have one smaller guy on the show do what he does. And he could stand out, which is obviously why he stands out.
It should be him. And I put Darby wins, no shit.
Yeah, exactly. That's the big duh that comes at the end. Like you knew that was going to happen. But all right, so Darby, I guess now on AEW Grand Slam coming up. I think it's this week, Wednesday.
/ Dynamite. Yeah, it's this Wednesday.
Yeah, it's going to be Wednesday night. So that seems like it's going to be a pretty packed show. We'll see how the ratings do. Anytime that they give these special Dynamites a name, winter is coming, Grand Slam, this, that, and the other. Usually they do a little bit better because they put better matches on and they kind of announce them and build them up a little bit. So next, I just have Jarrett backstage promo. Intense. Jarrett can still bring it on the mic.
Yep.
After that, it was correct me if I'm wrong. It was Queen Aminata and Serena Deeb.
Yes.
Okay. My notes say Queen Aminata, fat ass. Serena Deeb, no ass.
Is that it?
Those are my only notes for the match. Queen Aminata, fat ass. Serena Deeb, no ass.
How dare you, Robert?
No, I did write. I wrote not a bad match. Queen can go. I think she's really, really talented. I like her move set. She does some different moves. And for, again, a jobber or, someone super low on the card that nobody really has ever heard of. I know she's been on, she's probably had 10 matches in AEW. So I know the name and I definitely know the glutes, but she could work. And I just wrote Deeb wins. Duh.
Yeah, I
was not surprised.
I put fans didn't care, neither did I.
Yep, that is correct.
Serena wins.
Yep. Not really much to say other than I would bury my face in Queen Aminata's butthole.
You're just saying that because you guys have the same heritage.
Oh, God. All right. 10-man tag. Random AF. Wait, am I missing something?
There's a recap for Rampage of Jamie Hayter.
Oh yeah, I didn't. I don't.
Well, only thing I put. I think she's good. I like Jamie Hayter.
Yeah, and she's got a fat butt too.
Yeah. But then they went over the rules. It was so. I put Serena has her own rules for the match. So dumb.
Oh, the Saraya rules match. Yeah. And then she said, yeah, I remember. She said the rules have been in her family for 1,000 years or something like that.
Yeah. Did you know? Did you hear the rules?
No, I have no idea.
I won't get into it. But other way, if Serena touches the rope break. If the other girl does, no rope break. So Serena can't just get counted out.
Saraya. Why do you keep calling her Serena? Saraya.
Saraya.
Jesus.
Saraya. Can't get counted out. The other girl can. Like it was all that type of stuff.
That is so stupid. And I say that Harley Cameron is smoking hot?
No, I was waiting for it.
Yeah, she's also hot. Another blonde that I'm not into that I think is smoking hot.
I'm sorry. Saraya. My bad.
There you go. 10-man tag, random match. Hook, FTR, and the Outrunners versus Roosh, Taurus, or what are they calling him now?
Mortis,
the Beast Mortis, Roderick Strong, and the Grizzled Young Veterans, who the internet makes a big deal about the grizzled young vets, and more recently, the Outrunners are getting over.
I like them.
I do too. I like the presentation. I like the old school. I like, but they're like a comedy act.
Yeah.
You can't really take them seriously, but this happens a lot with AEW tag teams. The crowd will get behind someone that nobody ever expected them to get behind, and they'll be hot for, 2-3 weeks, and then you never see them again.
Well, because they don't know what to do with them.
Right. Exactly. And these guys, I mean, you could tell that even, I don't know how long they've been wrestling, but they look like they're really nervous in the ring and they're trying to remember their spots.
Yeah.
You can see when they're grabbing the arm to like whip the guy in the ropes. They don't know which rope to whip him into. And like, hey, where am I supposed to be right now? There's too much thought. I feel like, they're flexing and they're posing and they're, doing the Macho Man thing where they're spinning around and flexing. I think that's all funny, but when the bell rings, it's kind of over for the.
Well, you know why? No reps, no house shows. This is what happens.
Yeah, I would love to know like where they're from. They're obviously from some indies, there's some indie act, but I don't know if they were Ring of Honor guys back in the day when I wasn't really watching wrestling. But yeah, so it was, I said, I'm zoning out. This is super boring. So long. I said, Hook can't sell for shit. His punches look like shit. And bro, I feel bad because I know he's new. And people have brought up in the past that Hook, he grew up on live television. There was no indies for him to go to. He skipped over the indies. There's no performance center. There's nothing like that. So he basically learned on the job, during COVID and then in front of live audiences. And he was coming out with, whatever faction he was with. Who was he with originally? Team Taz, right? Because Taz had like Brian Cage and Ricky Starks and Hook and Hobbs. Yeah.
Well, I love Taz. I loved him as an announcer, loved him as a wrestler.
Yeah.
I blame some of this on him.
He should have taught him better.
Yes.
Yeah, he has no fire, and he's just going through the motions, and he's just going from move to move to move. There's no selling. There's no getting fired up. There's no looking at the crowd. There's just, oh shit, I just did a back suplex. Now I got to grab him again. I got to do this other suplex. There's no psychology at all. And maybe he'll get it eventually. But when you're still 190 pounds and you got a stupid haircut and you're wearing like boxing shorts.
Yeah.
It's like, bro.
It looks like the gym shorts I had to wear when I was in 7th grade.
Exactly. Like, throw some tights on this dude and, not short, not like, short, like put like long pants on him,
like jeans,
like a cool design,
like some type of jeans, maybe even to hide because he's so damn skinny.
Yeah.
I'll let you finish. I'll go over.
I just said boring, and I fast forwarded through until the end of the match. I know we're supposed to be doing reviews and we're supposed to be, watching everything. I was just so bored because these are just guys. Why are they in the ring together? This is just a random freaking match.
Main event. 10-man tag team.
Yeah.
I mean,
and to my knowledge, the only feud, well, I think the Grizzled Young Vets and FTR are getting into some sort of a feud, and Roderick Strong and Hook, I know, are going to be wrestling. Bro, if they let Hook beat Roddy, it's like, come on, bro. It's just, I don't get it.
I like Roosh.
I like Roosh too. Roosh is intense and Roosh is believable. And I think Roosh is at the point right now where he's like, I made the biggest mistake of my life. I should have went to WWE because his brother, Dragon Lee, is in WWE, and one of his best friends, Andrade, went back to WWE. He probably is like, bro, I want to be there. But you know what they're going to do with Roosh in WWE because he can't talk, he can't speak English that well, is they're going to put him in like that LWO mid-card where they're just going to be fighting each other and nobody ever really elevates and becomes like a big star out of that. They're kind of lost in the sauce.
I mean, he lays in his shit too, man.
For sure.
He looks like a jerk. He looks mean. He's like, you're right. He's intense.
Yep.
I like him.
Bro, he was when he was in Ring of Honor. Again, this is when we were going to the Ring of Honor shows live. Bro, he was jacked. I think I sent you a picture of him a few months ago where he was like shredded.
Yeah.
And big. He was on the sauce. Now he's got the shape and the shell of like a bigger dude, but he's just not cut up like he was. He was diced.
And then I had picture in picture for one commercial, then all commercials for a minute and a half. I kept wrestling.
Yeah.
So they came back. They were doing something totally different than when we left off.
Yep. Yeah.
FTR does the job.
Wait, no, they won?
No, they lost.
Oh, see, I fast forwarded. I didn't even know who won and lost.
Dax Hardwood got pinned.
Who pinned him?
I forget.
Probably one of the grizzled young vets or something.
I think so. Yeah,
because they're going to be feuding. I don't even know, to be honest with you, dude. I don't even know where the grizzled young vets are from, where they came from. Maybe it was TNA, maybe it was NXT. I don't know where they're from, but I know that they're over with the internet smart mark audience. They're like, oh my God, grizzled young vets.
Yeah. We'll figure it out. I mean, we just watched this less than 24 hours ago. I watched it this morning, so we'll do our homework and we'll figure out where they're from.
Who did the last thing that I have is the Nigel McGuinness thing. Am I missing anything in between?
Serena Deeb challenged Britt Baker next week.
Oh, okay. All right. On Grand Slam. Yeah, I remember they were making a big deal about.
I lied. It may be the next week when they're in Pittsburgh. I could be wrong.
Okay. All right. Sure. Yeah, that's like the 500th episode or something, or the 5-year anniversary, something like that. Nigel McGuinness, Tony Schiavone are talking, and then I said, crowd doesn't care. This is a cringe promo. It sucks. I said, this is so boring. And I will admit that I was there were peaks and valleys in my wrestling fandom. The Nigel McGuinness, Bryan Danielson feud from Ring of Honor, I had no recollection of that. I had no idea that they were feuding. I had no idea. I've never seen Nigel McGuinness wrestle outside of when he came back on the pay-per-view and wrestled in that Casino Royale match. Never seen him work before. I've heard the name. I know that he was a big star in Ring of Honor, but I never saw any of his matches, so I don't really know what his moveset is like. But from what I did hear, their matches back in Ring of Honor were hard-hitting, like, they both agreed backstage on a handshake agreement, like, yo, I'm going to beat the shit out of you. You beat the shit out of me. Let's just not lose our cool in the ring, and that's how it goes.
I put crowd is dead.
Oh,
they didn't care. Only time the crowd cheered was for, I think, 2 people, and then any high spot. Other than that, they were dead.
I cheered for Mariah May and Queen Aminata's ass. That's the only 2 people I cheered for.
And then believe this or not, he was in the middle of promo and my DVR stopped because they went over time again.
Yeah, it says my TV when I was watching it live, because when I started watching it about 8:20, the show comes on at 8. My TV will say, do you want to watch live or do you want to replay it? I'll always replay it. So then I can fast forward.
Right.
And then when that 10 o'clock hour comes around, it pauses and it says, do you want to continue watching? The show is over. Do you want to continue watching? And I press yes. And then I could see the rest of it.
Unprofessional that is. It happens all the time.
Every single show, bro. That's AEW. That's what they do. They do it purposely like that so they could get the overrun. But the overrun has been backfiring on them because according to the statistics, they're not gaining. They're actually losing audience by doing the overrun.
That could cause some turmoil at the TV station, I would imagine.
I'm sure. Yeah. They have to put, like the Big Bang Theory for Dynamite leads them into the Dynamite. And the Big Bang Theory is, for whatever reason, it's in syndication and it's still a very popular show.
Yes.
Where it gets 1 million viewers per episode, even though they're reruns, 1.1 million, 1.2 million, something like that. And then when Dynamite comes on, they have that, people just don't change the channel right away. So that first 15 minutes of the Big Bang Theory going off, piles into the Dynamite rating.
Right.
So that helps them. I don't know who they used to put on after Dynamite, but it was probably another show that was, very high in the ratings, and they would get the overrun number would bump up from wherever they were, 650,000 to like 800,000. And then that average would go, towards AEW's credit.
Not anymore. It's going down now.
That's what I heard. I heard that it's backfiring on them. So maybe they'll stop this overrun crap. Again, yeah, he tried to fire up. He's got the cool accent, obviously from over in the UK, and he, I'm curious to see what his work looks like. I did see him in that casino match at the last two pay-per-views ago. And that's another thing AEW does too. That's so weird. They had a pay-per-view, and then I think it was 2 weeks later, there was another pay-per-view.
Yeah.
So do you expect me really to pay $50 for a show and then a 2-week build to get me invested in more matches to watch another pay-per-view and spend another $50 2 weeks later? I mean, yeah.
No. And there's no way in hell he's beating Bryan Danielson for the heavyweight championship.
No, absolutely
If he does, it's a huge mistake.
Yeah. Yeah. You're going to have Nigel McGuinness. I mean,
just wrestled in 20 years.
Yeah. Just go over to WWE. You got Cody Rhodes. You got Walter Gunther, whatever the hell his name is.
Yeah.
We got to start doing some WWE stuff.
Yeah, I did record SmackDown. I didn't watch it.
Yeah, I didn't record it. Maybe Monday night. Let's watch Raw, and if you can remember,
tomorrow
night. Yeah,
yeah.
We'll watch Raw.
We'll recap it. Yeah, we'll do that. We could talk off air. I should be available afterwards to do one of these. To be honest with you, because
okay. Yeah, I think I heard a rumor that they were going to be going to 2 hours for the rest of the year. So at least it's not a 3-hour show. It's not 11 o'clock at night and I'm like falling asleep on the couch. But anyway, Nigel McGuinness just cut a promo talking crap about Bryan Danielson. I thought, but it's so weird because they're like, oh, if he's cleared to wrestle, man, you know damn well he's going to be cleared to wrestle. And then they'll play some BS all throughout the show where we still don't know if Bryan Danielson is cleared to wrestle and try to hold the audience. And again, bro, for people who remember the Nigel McGuinness, Bryan Danielson feud from Ring of Honor in whatever year it was, 2009, 2011. I don't even know when it was that they wrestled. How many of those people are still around and are going to be super pumped up and invested to watch this match? Like, oh my God, I can't wait to see. It's 15 years in the making.
Yeah, there's no way.
It's not many. And if Tony Khan thinks that everyone is like him and they're big wrestling nerds and they remember the Samoa Joe CM Punk feud and oh my God, they can't wait to see it again. And it's just weird.
Guy doesn't listen to anybody.
No, he doesn't. All right. I'm all out of gas here, bro.
That's all I got.
I give this show a big D. That's what I give it.
A D?
I give it a D in its mouth. Because this show is the shit.
Jeez.
There was one good thing on the show. Well, two good things.
What were they? Tell us again.
You got to see Mariah May and Queen Amanada's ass. That's it. Jeff Jarrett's promo was pretty good.
Yeah.
Again, I know you're not a fan of the Evil Uno, but I thought, even though I knew it was going to win, it was predictable. Darby Allin, Evil Uno, it was pretty entertaining. And I was oddly entertained by the first match with Dustin Rhodes and Sammy towards the end with Bennett and Taven.
Yeah.
So there were a couple of good things on the show. But again, it's such a missable, like you can miss this and not miss anything. So that's it.
Yeah, I couldn't wait for it to be over.
All right. So what do you give it? What's your grade?
I would say a D is probably maybe a D plus.
All right, D plus.
Yeah,
we're gonna give AEW Collision September 20th, 2024 a D plus.
It's September 21st. It was, but
wait, today's the 22nd.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Yeah, you're right. You are right. All right, that's all. I gotta go.
Me too.
Guys, remember, give us a follow on Instagram and Facebook. The Bearded Bastards Podcast at Bearded Bastards Podcast everywhere. And make sure you start engaging on the shorts and the posts that we do. Let us know your comments. If you agree with us, if you disagree with us, let us know in the comments section. And we'll go back and forth and we'll debate in the comments section.
We'll do that.
Yep. And I believe our schedule is going to be for whatever the next WWE or AEW pay-per-view is, as long, or premium live event, whatever they call it, as long as both Zach and I are able to watch it, we'll try to do a live stream, a recap live stream the night of. It might not be this pay-per-view, it might be the next one. We'll do a live stream recap the night of, and we'll invite some of the listeners to our podcast to come on and talk some crap with us and get your thoughts and opinions out as well.
Yeah, and just real quick, you'd mentioned the comments. Leave us a comment. Let us know how you feel. Yeah. We'll go back and we'll read some of those comments and address them on future podcasts.
Sure. Yeah, I could definitely do that.
Yep.
All right, guys. This has been your AEW review, September 21st, 2024. We're out like a boner in sweatpants. Take care, brush your hair. Till next time, we're out.